What's up, everybody? We're back. It's Monday. It's Orange Bloods Live. I'm Jeff Ketchum. That is Chad Hastings. Like, comment, subscribe to the page. Jump into that Specs chat. Leave your comments in the comments section. We do appreciate that. Steve Sarkeesian just finished up his Monday press conference, wrapping up San Jose State, looking ahead to UTEP, answering some Arch Manning questions, talking a little bit about the offense, a lot of stuff to unpack. Just like this offense, we might be yelling fire to a certain extent, Chad, although I don't know that Steve Sarkeesian is, although pretty transparent about, yeah, man, we got to get a lot better. It was a perfectly normal press conference, but I thought there were some interesting moments in it.
Whether you get what you want out of it as a Texas fan, I think the key thing here is your head coach and your quarterback, and then by extension, your offense. They know the difference between a scoreboard and a feeling and a standard that Sark just talked about. I like the way Arch reacted coming off the field, and I like the way Sark reacted today. You can tell he doesn't love his offense right now. He shouldn't.
And if you're worried about Arch being hurt, Sark does not have time for your Arch being hurt questions. And
yeah, by the way,
I don't know who that was that asked the question. I'm so glad they did.
Yes, thank you to that person. Also, shout out to you and Anwar for the perfect setup during the Overreaction Monday show today about what that would look like. Anwar set it up for everybody perfectly, and it happened exactly like he said it would happen. And nice answer by Sark. I really enjoyed the according to who. Did Arch tell you that? Catch, be honest with me. When he said, did Arch tell you that? Did you have a little bit of an Allen Iverson? Did Tawana tell you that? Iverson's mom? Like, that's who I thought of. He kind of had a, did Tawana tell you that? I ain't for no games. Like, it had that vibe to it. So I kind of like the way he handled it. But officially, there is nothing going on with Arch's arm physically, according to his head coach.
If you're wondering, he basically went with a constipation joke. And Sark is feeling himself these days at these press conferences because he circled back around and was like, did you guys like that? Yeah. He told the reporter, who I did not recognize the voice.
Me either.
But he said, I don't know what you guys look like when you're doing number 2. And it was like, oh. And I thought about it, and I was like, you know what? I don't know that I've ever sat in front of a mirror. I don't know what my face looks like, Sark, just full transparency.
Yeah.
I've never really thought about it, but Sark had me thinking about it today. They do know. The thing is, and we're going to talk about it, right, because there's all this Arch conversation. The running game's not good enough. There's not enough explosive plays. The passing game's not good enough. The blocking's not good enough. There is this easy inclination to look at Arch, and he's not been good enough. And I think maybe more than anybody, Arch has been the one to own it more than anybody. It has to be better. Everything has to be better. If you try to talk about something good that he's done, and maybe this is part of the problem too, like maybe Arch does need to lighten up a little bit. I don't know. It's not quite come together. I thought the single most revealing moment of the press conference, and the whole damn thing could have stopped right then and there as far as I was concerned, although he did later say that Trey Wisner was doubtful for this week. So interesting note that came a little bit later on the press conference.
Yeah.
When he was, I don't even know if the exact question was, what was the thing you liked the most about your offense? Because it was Anwar that I think asked the question. I think it was a little bit more nebulous than that. I think it was like, hey, talk to us about some of the things that you like about your offense and maybe not, right? But he set his answer up like the thing that I like most about the offense. And I waited with bated breath. What is the thing that you like the most about your offense? And he dropped they're coachable on us.
I thought of you right away.
And I was like, oh, that's your favorite thing? Because when people ask me about the 2005 Texas offense and what my favorite thing about that offense was, I always joke that the late Sean Adams and I would go to games and take side bets on how many plays it would take for the offense to score. Not very many. And like Sark's, one of the things so he doesn't have a thing that he can point to right now on the field and say, that's our bread and butter. That's our go-to. That's my favorite thing. That's the best thing about our offense. That it's coachable right now is they know.
Yeah.
Chad, they know. And
absolutely,
if you were a fan and were like, are they BSing them? They know. We can point to all of the math and the number of explosive runs and DeAndre Moore 6 yards per catch and Ryan Wingo 10 and 16 targets, but like not a lot of it. Just they know. And the difference is we're doing a show where the thumbnail is kind of a play on this spin that everything's okay. It probably will be, but there's a lot of stuff. There's so much stuff on the offense that still needs to improve that Steve Sarkeesian can't hang his hat on a single damn thing. And when he asked a question that really wasn't specifically asking the thing that he answered, what's my favorite part about the offense, that he said coachable, was a really interesting answer because I don't know if you'd have asked me before he answered it how he would answer. I don't know. I don't know that I would have had coachable on my bingo card.
right?
But I would have thought, well, he's not going to say explosive and he's not going to say tidy because they're a little sloppy. And I think maybe my favorite part of the press conference was at the end. It was the most my favorite thing was him talking about watching college football with his son the first time he got to watch college football on a Saturday with his boy. I thought that was a cool little anecdote. Like, let us in, Sark. I like that.
Right.
But he talked about at the end, he goes, we probably had some guys, and he goes, I told them this on Saturday that thought they should have played more. And he was like, and they probably have some friends on the team that probably wish they had played a little more.
Yeah, it's a good line.
Like, well, you know what? Play better then.
Yeah, all you first string guys that are mad the second and third string guys didn't get more rep, play better. Better.
You want this guy or that guy or whomever to get in and get some reps, play better. Don't make it so that I got to play Arch in the fourth quarter. It was less coach, more dad. That I don't have a dad, right? But it feels like the kind of thing that a dad would say to his son.
Absolutely.
Play better.
No, you're absolutely right. The other thing, to your comments about the offense and his frustration about it, I thought of you immediately when he said coachable, but then he goes to the negatives. He rattles off stuff like, got to be consistent. Practice has to translate to games. The details have to be dealt with. We need growth overall. He talked about them needing to maybe not rely on the scheme so much and just play football. He went through a lot of that stuff. And then right after he said he was watching with his son, I loved this comment. Basically, he said, I'm watching around the country, and I thought to myself, are we screwed up or are other teams going through this? And he got to watch some other teams. Now, Ohio State didn't look screwed up, but he watched a team like Georgia, a team like Clemson, a team like obviously Florida who loses. He watched these other teams and it was like, oh, so other teams are screwed up. But catch, he referred to his team and specifically his offense as screwed up. So for a Texas fan, fixing it, is he going to fix it? We can't know that. But he absolutely knows, and our usage of the room on fire meme today, after watching that press conference, is over the line.
Yeah, I agree.
To me, it's over the line. It's out of bounds. It's clickbait, and that ain't Sark. Sark does not look at this offense and think, what are y'all complaining about? We won by 31. That is not what he's doing.
But the whole point of and it's what made his response. You're right. It is the wrong meme in the end because the thought process was all of the focus is on Arch, as if with Arch, everything else can follow. And if you set Arch aside, and we all agree Arch has to play better. Outside of Trevor Gooseby, Parker Livingston, Jack injuries, there's nobody I would give an attaboy to on the offensive side of the ball and say you're playing at a championship level. And if they had more, Sark would have been able to say, this is my favorite part about the offense. It's this. They're not good. He can't say my favorite thing is I think we got a little something going on the right side of that offensive line. You can see it. Nothing.
No, he can't talk about the running back room, and he can't talk about other tight ends, and he can't talk about really any.
I'm not case that Arch's improvement from week 1 to week 2 is probably the best thing about the offense. It's the thing that everybody wants to focus on. But, man, I saw running backs that couldn't make explosives, that were pretty poor against San Jose State. I saw a wide receiver unit that outside of Parker Livingstone was I used a cap gun gif in my 10 thoughts from the weekends. That's what the offense feels like. It's in a world of the nuclear, in a world of LSU had what it had under Joe Burrow and what Ohio State had a year ago, and even what Texas had a year ago, when you think about the NFL pieces and the playmakers and the speed. And then, oh, by the way, all of that's happening. And I was curious yesterday, Chad. I was like, I wonder how Trevor Gooseby did yesterday. I don't even know why. It just occurred to me. I wanted to go to Pro Football Focus and see how Trevor Gooseby graded out. And maybe it was because I thought Gooseby played really well. I was like, I wonder if that kind of plays its way out. And he was in the 80s. And I was like, okay, whoever graded that game graded him extremely well. Well, that was Pandora's box. Because at that point, I was like, well, I'm here. I might as well. I'm curious, what does
then you had to look
the Texas offensive line look like? Because I thought they had a hard time blocking a couple of those interior guys from San Jose State. In fact, and Sark made a point to say, hey, it's different. The schemes are different. What they're at. It was San Jose State, Sark. Mm-hmm. These dudes struggled to block San Jose State. And when I showed up last Monday and was like, I know they struggle with Ohio State, but I don't think that, or they were okay against Ohio State, but I don't think Ohio State's that good. Let me give you the grades, okay? Mm-hmm. Trevor Gooseby in the 80s. I think it was like 81, 82, something like that. Good enough that I didn't think I even needed to bother with a screenshot.
Right.
Everybody else got screenshots.
Yeah.
Brandon Baker, 59.1. But you know what? He's almost an all-star compared to Cole Hudson's 47.4.
That is rough. No wonder they didn't run right.
Hey, I guess DJ Campbell's 64.3 is almost game ball worthy. Ugh. Because then you look up Connor Stroh, who essentially got replaced by Neto Umuzalo on Saturday for stretches of the game, and Neto on the surface looks like he played a little bit better than Connor, who graded out at 47.6, which followed on the heels of a 52.8 performance against Ohio State. This is an offensive line that's just not good.
That is not good. Did you say center yet? Did I miss center?
I said Cole Hudson.
You did, my bad.
Cole was the first 47.4.
47.4. Good grief. That is, whew. And you said Campbell was 64?
Yeah.
Man.
Which isn't where you want him to be.
No, but better than two of the guys out there with him. Yeah, it is something that obviously we talked about it in the offseason. It's a question of what would it look like. Now we see what this looks like. And the combo of the offensive line and the running back room, it's got to have you a little concerned if you're a Texas fan. For the biggest moments of the game, can you do it? Doesn't feel like this team catch can shut things down like they did in Tuscaloosa, like they look like they did in Ann Arbor. Can you close a game like you did in Fayetteville or College Station? Doesn't feel like it right now. We just got to see. We have to see that develop. But right now, it doesn't feel like a team that can run when it needs to.
No, it can't. But I think the thing is, I would continue to stress, because I think Sark is probably pretty healthy for Sark to go home and watch a little college football. By the way, he thinks Oregon is really good.
Yeah.
And so do I, Coach. I kind of felt like Sark read my 10 thoughts from the weekend, if I'm being completely honest.
Yeah.
Sark, I'm just saying, I like to sit alone, Sark, because at events, because I don't like to hear other people talk and then it becomes my thought process. Sark read 10 thoughts from the weekend. I heard it in the column the whole way. Right up until the part where he essentially said what I said, which is Oregon low-key might be the best team in the country.
Or they might have scheduled no one of the two. But yeah.
Or both. Those two things don't have to be mutually exclusive from one another.
Yeah. Oregon, Penn State, a little bit later. That's when I'll open my eyes on the Ducks.
But he could have watched Penn State, and that was a game that was 10-0 at the half. And I think it was good for a little dose of, okay, we're not alone here in this work in progress thing. The schedule shapes up for him. I think this Ohio State as the first game, I think in retrospect, given what this team clearly was wrong game, wrong time. Ohio State, I think probably the same is true for them, but they won it. But I guarantee you, I don't know that Texas is coming out of game 2 saying, hey, give us our shot against Ohio State again right now. But Ohio State probably is. They'd probably like to play Texas again after 60 minutes against Grambling.
Yep.
I think that this team needs a month of tune-ups. And it used to be Oklahoma, and a lot of the times in the OU heyday where they'd actually struggle in some of those early September games. And then you get to October having thought, well, they look vulnerable. And then in October, they're just grinding people. I'm not saying that's what Texas is about to do, because I don't know that at all. But some teams do grow up over the course of a month or so of these kind of exhibition bouts. And I think Sarkeesian thinks that's going to happen. I think it's still very possible that it does. I think the most alarming thing is just that there's so much that they are going into week 3, and he can't just say, what's the favorite part of my offense? Bijan. We can just give the ball to him and he can bail us out at any time. It's more complicated than that. And I think that, I don't think we panicked on Saturday in the post game. In fact, we were probably pretty boring, because our whole deal was like, look, that was an exhibition bout, and don't get too high or don't get too low. I just think there ended up being more lows than we would have guessed. That what we thought that game was going to be was we would emerge from it and go, everybody slow down. Yes, they scored 8. We thought we would be doing the Ohio State Grambling thing, which is 66-0. Quarterback goes 18 of 21. We don't really know that we learned anything about Ohio State in that game, other than against Grambling, they can look pretty murderous. And that's what we thought we were going to get on Saturday against San Jose State. It didn't happen. And because of it, I think there's been a lot more focus on the negative than the good. Let's do this. What is the good on the offense?
That's a good question. We got super chats that have come in as well. We'll reset right there. Also, we need to make a big clarification, and I have a big apology that I need to make. We'll do that after we hear from AV Consultations.
Hi, this is Tom McKay, owner of Audiovisual Consultations, and we'd like to take a moment to thank all of our clients for making the last 37 years both fun and fruitful. If you haven't yet, I'd like to invite you to give us a try for all your home electronics needs. There's no need to leave your home to find great pricing and incomparable service. No traffic, inexperienced sales geeks, or pushy showroom tactics. We come to you. So just relax, hug your kids, and smile. We handle all the work. Just give us a call at 255-8678 or online at avconsultations.com.
All right, Catch, before we get into these super chats, I want to apologize for everything I thought and said about Joe Tessitore and Jesse Palmer. Someone sent us this chat, said it's Livingstone. Chad, I was with you. I thought there's absolutely no way, because I'd never seen another pronunciation, but apparently Livingston is correct. Catch, can you back up Joe Tessitore on this thing?
I've looked it up.
Catch
Pronunciation guide.
He put it in his 10 thoughts. I looked on my phone. I made that mistake. I should have looked it up on a computer, but on my phone, I couldn't find they didn't have the little ear by his name. So I thought, well, it's got to be Livingstone. You can't pronounce those two words differently in the English language. And you put them together, it's got to be Livingstone. So I got to remember, Catch, you pronounce his name the way Mac Brown would have in a rush. That's what his name is. It's going to freak me out because it doesn't look right. But Chad, we're wrong. We're wrong. It's Livingston. And Joe Tess, I'm sorry I said what I said about you. I thought you messed it up. Okay.
Look, I'm just upset because I said Livingston forever. And I got shamed into saying Livingstone. Like, Catch, you're wrong. Say it right. And then in the end, the guy that normally butchers the names was saying it right in the first place.
Yeah, no, you had it.
You guys made me doubt myself, and I should never do that.
Yeah, don't ever do that. You are always right. We are always wrong.
No, that's not true. That's not what I meant.
And Oscar is always invited to Super Chat. $9.99, watching a lot of college football landscape. Georgia, Florida, Clemson, LSU. I feel a lot better about where this team is and can get to by the end of the year, but the offense will go as Arch goes. Oh, yeah. There you go. I mean, it is a good thing.
He had some receivers that would make some plays, though.
Yeah, you got to have that too. You got to have both, right?
Parker Livingston.
Livingston, yes. The early throw to Wingo, that's obviously on Wingo. The one where Arch airmails him in the end zone, that's on Arch. Both those plays were there to be made. Both of them were. It looks
like those guys have never played together, which is just odd considering the reports that we were hearing about their chemistry throughout camp.
Yeah, totally agree. Our man Jay is in for 10. You know this team too well to have picked them to win a natty this year. Who or what convinced you? I've been at 10-2, 9-3 for months, and for all the reasons that are now realities. Line, running back, quarterback, wide receivers. Jay Lee feels vindicated because he didn't see a national title kind of team.
I look around college football and don't see a lot of teams that I think are better than Texas even now. I mean, Ohio State is the number one team in the country, rightfully so right now. And at home, they were a score better than Texas, a Texas team that we know wasn't anywhere remotely close to what the levels that they can be at. Now, same about Ohio State. I feel like when you look at the rosters, ultimately this comes down to Arch in the quarterback position. Of all of the teams in college football, this is the year where Texas should, on paper, have an advantage at the quarterback position that I don't know that will exist in a year from now. And Sayan is in his year two as a starter, and Dontre Moore is in a year two as a starter at Oregon. And doesn't he look good early on? And all across the country, other than Clemson and Miami with Carson Beck, you've got programs who are breaking in new starters. And I think it does look like that most of the places across the country. I think that by the end of the year, Texas will have this thing figured out. But if they don't, if in the middle of October, Sark is still saying the favorite part about his offense is how coachable they are, then yeah, they will have multiple losses, and the chances of them being a playoff team are probably hanging on by a thread.
Jay, as always, we appreciate your super chat. Here's another one from Sailor Joe for 2. Can we petition to get Livingston a new number? What's wrong, Sailor Joe? You don't want a 13? People have worn 13 and looked badass before. What's wrong with a 13?
I mean, he's making 13. Here's the thing. You don't have to do a whole lot if you're Parker Livingston to that. You're now the all-time great number 13 in UT history.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. Hell, we're in a 13 era right now. Taylor Swift loves 13. Travis Kelce loves 13. They're about to get married.
Who's the greatest Longhorn in 13 of all time?
I can't even think of one.
That's what I'm saying.
Has there even been one? I literally can't think of one. Like, what's Blaine Irby wore 19. That's about as close as I can get right
I
now.
don't remember a 13.
David Thomas wore 16.
Yep.
Do I have that right? Yeah, I no. He's
Bennett. This is where Chris Bennett needs to come up big for us in the chat.
Yeah, there you
Because
go.
he does the countdown every year.
CB, where are you?
CB, who are the 13? Somebody said
Where's-
Gerard Hurd. Okay, that's kind of the point.
Did Gerard wear 13? I forgot that.
Jordan Whittington.
Good call. Okay, Jordan Whittington. See, there you go.
But look, all you got to do is score some touchdowns, a few, and you can jump in front of Jordan.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
think, here's a pop quiz, Chad.
Okay.
How many college touchdowns did Jordan Whittington score?
How many college touchdowns did
In his college career, Jordan Whittington scored how many touchdowns in his Texas career?
I have no idea. So I'm going to guess 13.
6.
Oh, wow. I was going to say 11 at first, and I thought, now give him a couple more. Go to the jersey number. And I missed. Okay.
6.
Damn it.
Including one each in his last 2 seasons, which means Livingston is 2 away. He's played 2 games this season. He's 2 away from tying for the all-time lead in touchdowns by number 13. No, Chris Bennett.
That's not right, is it?
No, I'm sure that's right. Chris Bennett is letting us know that that's the name on the countdown.
Todd Dodge was 13. I'd forgotten that one. Okay. All right. No, I think he's making it look good. He is making it look fine.
Was Dixon 13?
Michael Dixon? Oh, well, if Michael Dixon wore it, that might be. I'd have to go back and
Parker
look.
does need to change his number if that's the case.
I may have to go back and that. Wow. CB, if you're right about that, then I stand corrected and I apologize to Michael Dixon.
Why don't I remember Michael Dixon's number?
I should have already said his name. See, that makes him like a baseball player. I don't know a lot of baseball players' numbers sometimes, because it's only on one side of the jersey and I don't always see it all the time. Maybe that's the way it is with Dixon. I'm used to looking at him from the side. You don't usually see him so much. You're not focused on him all the time. I'm just focused on the ball. Sorry,
you don't
Michael.
really see their backs a lot.
I'm sorry, Michael, because you're one of the most badass things I've ever seen punting the ball, and I should know that.
Okay, let's move on.
I should know, damn it. Oscar, I see your super chat. We will get to you. Quick reminder, it is a mid-afternoon kick this week with UTEP. 3:15 on SEC Network. Come out and see us at TCH Social Austin. They'll have food and drink specials for you. And oh yeah, you'll want to pile in at the 2-minute warning on Texas and UTEP. I told you last week to do it. And when did we start? At the 2-minute warning. Lowy Law Firm sponsors that post-game show. Join us for that. Also, remember, TCH has hijack poker for you, free online poker. You get it in the app. You put it in the phone or any app you want. You play all across the state of Texas. You can deposit all kinds of ways, and you can even cash out at one of their locations if you want. Go play poker online right now. All right. The super chat we have is from Oscar. It's $9.99 before we get you a little buy or sell. Lots of title contenders look poor this past weekend. Just because Oregon beat down a loser Mike Gundy team in week 2 doesn't mean Texas is done. Natty is 5 months away. Relax, all capital letters. Catch, it is a good reminder when we had our first full week of football, college and pros. We are in a college system that now allows for a little more real football. I know exactly what Texas fans were looking for last week. I totally get it. Totally get it. But it is survive and advance on some level. If you don't lose 3 games, you're probably getting in a playoff. Just go beat who's in front of you, and you're going to be fine. You don't need style points as much as you used to need style points in this system. You just don't.
No, and I will continue to point out, man, it's good for Texas. The poster boy for who they should be thinking about modeling themselves after is Ohio State from a year ago. That a team that at the end of the year, it's real easy to go, oh yeah, no, Ohio State, they were the most talented, best team. But literally a month before, we were like, should they even be in the playoffs?
Yeah. And I'll give you a game outside. The one everybody thinks of is Michigan. Catch. I double-checked that schedule. They beat Nebraska 21-17 at home
No,
in Columbus.
I remember.
Right? We all remember that game where it was like, oh my God, did you see Ohio State, Nebraska today? It happens. It happens.
And that was with a lot of explosiveness and firepower on offense, a veteran quarter. Like I think the thing that I liked most about Sark today was I think he knows what he has. I think he knows what he needs. I have covered University of Texas coaches who've been deluded in the past.
Yeah.
And hell, Sark's probably been I could probably go back and think of a moment where I was like, there's a little bit of delusion in there. But I didn't sense that today. And I think he's got a real good finger. He's got a real good reading of the pulse of the team, who they are, what they're not yet. But he clearly loves the talent on this team. I just think for me, and I know we got to go into buy or sell, and we can do that here in a moment. I'm all kind of turned inside out because the show started late. So I'm looking at the clock and it's 40, but it's only 30 on the game clock, if you know what I mean. So it's a little strange. I know that he loves CJ Baxter. And I know that he loves Ryan Wingo. And I know that he loves DeAndre Moore. And I know that they love Cole Hudson. I would like to see why at some point on the field in a game. All of those guys. Because I think in a world where if Arch was Quinn Ewers coming back for year 4, I think Quinn would get some grace. I think we'd all be looking at what's going on with the supporting cast in a year where Quinn comes back, but he loses all his explosive toys. And then suddenly it's like, well, Wingo's dropping passes and that's not hooking up. And DeAndre Moore, you know what I mean? I think the focus is on everything else. I think Arch makes for a convenient punching bag. By the way, I don't know if you saw this stat. I'm really proud of it. I mentioned this earlier, so you probably heard me say this. Did you see where I looked up the quarterback stats under Sark? Did you hear that stat?
Yeah. You looked at the ratings of all his quarterbacks. It was by the end of the year, right?
No, this is just their career numbers.
Oh, the career rating for each guy.
The career ratings for all of the quarterbacks that have played under Sark.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what I thought I was going to find, but it occurred to me. I was like, oh, well, something made me realize that Hudson Card played 2 seasons with Sark. Mm-hmm. And I usually just think of 2021 and the disaster, but he did come back in 2022. And I sometimes forget that happened. So Hudson Cards, let's do it from reverse order. Okay.
Right.
4 quarterbacks have played. The guy with the lowest career, every throw he had in college was at Texas, Quinn Ewers, 148.0. Hudson Card comes next. Smaller sample size, clearly, but he's 149.7. I did not think you could have paid me $100 million. I would not have guessed that was the case. That seems surreal. It's hard to believe, but that's where we are. Casey Thompson, 154.7. Arch Manning, 166.2. Small sample size. Arch is playing better than I think people want to give him credit for, and that includes the Ohio State game was a disaster. He was fine last week. Things slowed down, played pretty well. Yeah, he got the benefit of the doubt of a catch and run on a long play, but he also made a pretty unbelievable touchdown run. Like you could feel it slowing down, coming together. In the end, that game, it felt like I really found myself, other than the Arch, is he hurt angle, I found myself much more focused on everything else but Arch on the offense.
Yeah, I'm with you. I didn't expect it. I thought Quinn would be towards the lower part of it. I didn't think he would be on the bottom of that discussion.
Isn't that crazy?
That is a little wild. I did, but it speaks to that inconsistency, man. It just over the full run of it.
Well, because when the 2021 season ends, Sark basically disowns both Card and Thompson. won't give either a vote of confidence at the end of that season.
Right.
Basically declaring we can never have quarterback play as bad as this has been. And then in the end, Quinn Ewers, statistically, from a passing efficiency standpoint, not from a winning standpoint, but just from a passing efficiency standpoint, ends up being beneath both Card and Thompson. I knew Thompson. I knew he was in the 150s. I didn't know that about Card.
It is a total shocker to me as well. All right, we will buy or sell. Jay, I see that super chat as well. Also, let me tell you about sinus and snoring specialists, some of my favorite people, because they help me sleep better, help me feel better. They got rid of my allergies for good. I got enough stuff to worry about. It's one less thing I don't worry about, and that's my allergy stuff that I used to deal with. Don't deal with it anymore. Sinus issues, don't worry about that either. And most importantly, I don't worry about snoring. I don't worry about the sleep apnea that I had. I sleep like a baby every night, and I have since 2017 because of these folks. 601-0303. Securely call them or text them on that number. Find out about what they do. Go to sinussnoringent.com. They have great videos to start explaining what they do. Once you get to talk to Dr. Slaughter or Dr. Salvador, you'll figure out even more what they can do for you. Check them out. Feel clear, rested, and healthy with sinus and snoring specialists. Please tell them that you heard about it on Orange Bloods Live. All right, we'll sneak this super chat in before we buy or sell. It's from Jay, $5. People thought that when Arch didn't do well, people wouldn't blame him. Get ready, because I'm going to be consistent and be just as hard on him as I was with Quinn. Jay, I think you should. One of my surprises so far is how many things about Arch that is just obviously on Arch. I thought there'd be stuff to blame Sark for, offensive line for, the running back room, maybe a lack of, crazy good wide receivers. And I think that's kind of there. But Catch, I just didn't expect the Arch part of it, because there is stuff to look directly at number 16 and go, yeah, that's not good enough.
Yeah, look, I thought it was a lot better in this game. And I mentioned this on Saturday, it's always nice to be able to learn a lesson and a win. That throw in the red, that could happen in Gainesville in a tie ball game in the fourth quarter.
Right.
It happened against San Jose State in a game that didn't matter, and it occurred at a point in the game where the game was over, and yet it happened. And that usually is the kind of mistake that guys don't make twice. Like, trust me, if he does that again in the next month, the look he'll get from Sark the second time. I always tell the story. I shouldn't, but I do. Mm-hmm. I once got caught inadvertently peeping in on a guy, my best friend in high school. I literally wrong place twice. But on the second time, even though I was pretty innocent, all things considered, my friend was like, dude, that's twice.
Can't have him. Come on now.
And all you can do at that point is like, ugh. And that'll be if Arch makes that same mistake again, Sark will kill him for that. Like that, I shouldn't have to tell you that twice.
Yeah, there's so much good. You're right. Coachable stuff from that game. Like that one's the obvious one, Catch, but also the first touchdown to injuries versus the second one. The first one, you made him turn his body a little more than you want to. You try that in Gainesville, something might go wrong, or he might not end up in the end zone. So that one needs to be a little more in the window, like the second one. The second one was right in the window, just like you. There's all kinds of that stuff in rewatching that whole game. How the hell does Trey Moore not get in the end zone on that fumble recovery? Turn your body slightly in towards the field. Your momentum is going to put you in the end zone. How in the world are you treating that play that way? You act like Mahomes with Ed Oliver coming after him. Like, dude, lean into that. It's a touchdown waiting to happen. Just little stuff all over that game.
Yeah, look, but you know what? Now we know too. I think that the thing is, you can see the ceiling. You can see where this group has a lot of room for growth and where it can occur. But really, like, what is Ryan Wingo? Because I'll just tell you right now, this team will be 9-3 if he's not a difference maker. But you know what?
Yeah.
There's no body of work yet that suggests he's a difference maker. But this team and his coaching staff did not go into the portal this offseason, really, to address that wide receiver position. By the way, if we have time, we can circle back to his thoughts on there being a single portal window. I just thought his commentary was really interesting, considering a lot of the guys that he singled out as guys that were having good starts to their Texas careers were guys that showed up in the spring.
Yeah, right. Exactly. They're all going to have to adjust to that part.
I was like, oh yeah, I mean, I guess it could have been that way, Sark, but no Jack injuries and no Murad Watson. No, don't call him Emmanuel Emmett Mosley.
Mm-hmm.
There's just what has to happen now is the thing that didn't quite happen. It's a cliche when we say the amount of progress that a team makes between week 1 and week 2 is supposed to be the most amount of progress they make all season. Right. That's not what we saw on Saturday. I will feel a lot better about where this team is headed if it is this Saturday. If we come out of Saturday and they do to UTEP what they were supposed to do to San Jose State, and everybody across the board looks like, oh, well, that guy was okay, that's the first real step in this team starting to take steps. They took one Saturday, but it was a baby step, and I think we thought they would take a stride. Okay, we're treating them with kids' gloves to a certain extent because we can, because Florida's not Saturday. OU's not Saturday. UTEP is Saturday. So we're giving them a little bit of grace because the schedule tells us it's okay to do that. The harder tests, the ones we're going to judge really harshly, are weeks away. And I think it's fair. But at some point, if this team doesn't take this dramatic step soon, and I think it's got to happen before that last one. This does feel like the second to last preseason game where you're like, we're doing the dress rehearsal one time.
Yeah. And by the way, the other thing he did today, Catch, he kind of ripped his team for that. When he talked about focus after Ohio State, he kind of accused them of playing last week's game like they had 3 of them.
Yeah.
And I agree with him. It looked flat. It looked uninspired. It looked like a team playing San Jose State, knowing who the next 2 opponents were, and to your point, knowing that they weren't the Gators and they weren't the Sooners. They played that game that way, and that's
hard. You can't. There's no way you can play Ohio State on the road in the biggest season opening game of all time, and then come back the next week. And man, out of the 85 scholarship players on that team, how many do you think knew that San Jose State's nickname was the Spartans?
Yeah, right. I don't know. I do think afterwards they probably all would have wished you could flip the Sam Houston kick time and that kick time. You come back, the human nature of it all, like Sark said, and it's an 11 a.m. kick, sleepy 11 a.m., cloudy. It rained, literally rained during the game a little bit.
By the way, they announced that crowd at like 100 plus.
They did. Yeah, they did. 100,000, 100K, Catch. And Sark thanked them today, and they stayed to sing the eyes, unlike those Buffalo Bill fans that had no faith last night. Come on.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Are you ready to buy or sell?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. You go first. You want to go first or second?
I'll go first today. A, my questions are in, and B, there's no great one, but they're good.
Okay.
I don't know that there's one to end the show on.
All right. Well, that's good because I got the one to end the show with.
Okay. Well, buyer sell number 1, Parker Livingston, will be wide receiver 1 all season.
I swear, I'm going to start taking the E off of it just so I can practice. It's so weird. For now, I'm going to sell. This is the week where it's got to happen. I guess one of the next 2 weeks. It's got to happen with Wingo. I'm going to give that opening. But it should distress you if you're a Texas fan that your coach just told you that both guys wearing number 1 for your team, they just both changed to number 1. Both of them are pressing, and both of them just need to calm down. That's a bad sign. You go put that number on, You talk about number changes for Livingston? No, I want a number change on both number ones in 2 weeks if they're both playing like this.
By the way, him announcing to the world that Colin Simmons leads the country in penalties.
It was awesome. It was awesome. It was awesome. What kind of focus is that guy showing during a game? He looks like he's in La La Land. Catch, he reminded me of DeMarcus Lawrence a few years ago with the Cowboys, who would line up offsides 4 plays a game every year. You're like, every week, like, yo, D-Law, what are you doing? And Dan Quinn just let it happen. And I'm like, can we get him on side, please?
Sark mentioned that Simmons did not start the second half. Like
No.
that, I thought that was an interesting. Like we haven't even talked about. That's one of his best players that he sat down on the opening drive of the third quarter. Like these are the things that are happening in week 2 that you just don't think are going to happen with this team because of where it started. But it's pretty natural.
Yeah, the hands to the face thing obviously hurts him at Ohio State. Catch the roughing the passer against San Jose State. That's a garbage play. You do that in Gainesville, it can cost you the ball game. And I would be glad that Sark sent that message. The fans need to be glad he sent that message. Somebody's got to wake them up. Wake up the number ones.
Buy or sell number 2. Steve Sarkeesian's answer in a month from now about what he likes about the offense needs to be something other than being coachable.
Capital B, buy. Because, okay, hang on. What's a month from now? A month from now catches October the 8th. If his answer doesn't change, Florida has beaten them. And we're getting ready.
Are we sure, though? Because South Florida just beat them in Gainesville.
Trap. Total trap. Don't fall for it. Don't fall for it, Catch. Florida's about to go to LSU. Let's see what that looks like. Then they're going to go to Miami. We're going to get a good look at the Gators. But do not fool yourself into believing that because South don't play football, math, Catch, you're too old to do this. Don't say because South Florida beat Florida.
It's transitive.
Right. Don't do transitive property. Don't you do it. Don't you dare do it. Because so far, I've watched about a half a quarter of that game. South Florida did not beat Florida in a way that Texas is doing right now. I don't know if Texas can do it. I got to watch the whole game, but those are 2 very different styles of football teams. So do not use transitive property. The Gators can beat the Longhorns. Come on now.
Transitive properties. Buy or sell number 3. OU impressed you.
I will sell. I thought they'd win. They won. Impressed. I wouldn't go quite that far. It may have needed to be like one more score out there, a little more margin. I thought they'd win the game, so they did not impress me. I picked them to win by 10, and they won by a little less than that, whatever it was. So yeah, not impressed is not quite the word. They did what I thought they would do.
Yeah, I didn't think they were like incapable. And you and I think it both had them winning that game.
Yes,
all offseason. We even brought it up last week. We joked that they might storm the field. They did not. They did carry Venables off on their shoulders, though, which choice.
They should have hosed him down with a fire hose. That would have been a great move.
Buy or sell number 4. The Red Zone channel with commercials was no big deal.
Man, I'm gonna have to sell it because yesterday I was focused on 2 separate games, Bucks and Steelers, and then I went to the Red Zone, but I didn't notice legit commercials on my Red Zone, so I'm gonna sell it. It wasn't a big deal to me because maybe I didn't catch that it was happening.
Well, then it would be a buy because I said it was no big deal.
Oh, my bad. Okay, okay. Sorry. Yes, I'm gonna have to say it's a buy for me. Because I don't remember being like upset. I guess did they do a lot of side-by-sides? Is that what it was?
No, they really just waited until those moments where there just wasn't shit going on. And it occurred to me, I was like, as a Red Zone viewer, it occurred to me, oh yeah, you get to certain parts of this, you do get to parts where there's nothing going on and they just go full screen graphic with scores.
Yeah, especially in the second half when you got 3 or 5 games going on.
I thought they did it okay. I was like, you know what? It's like going to a movie theater and they play ads in the beginning and you're like, oh, I don't know that I like it, but it makes sense.
Yeah, I agree.
Buy or sell number 5. You enjoy Sundays more when the Cowboys don't play.
Buy. because I get a chance to let the red zone take over sometimes. But also in the case of yesterday, I got to watch the Bucks, my other NFL team that actually has substance and like a feel about them, like they're good.
Congratulations. Nice win.
Yeah, it was a nice win. On the road, football gods kind of paid them. It was weird. I thought the football gods were going to punish the Bucks, and they ended up rewarding the Bucks. They're weird, the football gods. But, yeah, it's a bye because when the Cowboys play on a Thursday or Sunday night, either one.
Monday.
Or Monday, right? The extremes is what I like for the Cowboys. Give me a Sunday or Monday night or a Thursday, because then I can get them out of the way and I'm going to watch all the actual football in the middle and save the circus for the outside. Yeah.
We totally agree. That's my fire. This is my 5 buy or sells.
Totally a good call. Yeah, we are the same Cowboys fan in a lot of ways. Catch buy or sell number 1. The best thing you saw at DKR Saturday was the Texas defense. Easy answer. Buy or sell.
I guess buy.
Okay.
I mean, it's so obvious. It could be nothing else. So sure, buy.
It could be Livingston. Was Livingston better than the defense for you? Like that could be it.
I mean, now you're trying to talk me out. Why don't you just let me my answer be my answer? Now you're trying to change my answer.
I'm sorry.
Ask yourself the goddamn question if you want it to be Livingston.
Buy or sell feelings. I like it. Buy or sell number 2, Catch. In October, we'll watch the weakest group of Texas and OU wide receivers face each other, maybe ever.
I'm going to sell.
Okay.
I have been around long enough to see some really putrid Texas OU games.
Okay.
Like really bad. So I will not go that far.
All right. Okay. All right. Just wanted to, just a little heat check. Just a heat check. Speaking of heat checks, buy or sell number 3, Monday gut. Notre Dame beats A&M by 10+.
Sell.
Okay.
I don't know how I think that game is going to go, but I didn't think Notre Dame was so good against Miami that they'll boat race A&M and win by 2 scores. And I know boat racing 10+ isn't quite the same thing. I don't know. I don't know what happens in that game. I don't think I've watched both teams. Both of them are okay. I kind of think A&M's getting better quarterback play. So I don't know what I think, but that's it. My stream of consciousness on a Monday about what I think of that game at this point.
Yeah. 6:30 NBC on Saturday evening, Texas fans, if you want to peek in. Buy or sell number 4, Catch. Let's go G5. South Florida, your G5 CFP team. Lock it in. There's the rest of their schedule after Miami. Buy or sell?
Sell. They'll lose 2 of those games.
Okay, fair enough. South Florida starts the year with 2 ranked wins. And finally, Catch, this is a hotter than that features one of your favorite things in the world. I'm sure this is going to be a buy, but let's just see what you do. Buy or sell number 5. Heather Thomas is 68 years old today.
Walking through the swinging gate doors.
Heather Thomas in that bikini, hotter than Brooklyn Decker coming out of the ocean in that Sandler movie. Buy or sell?
Buy. Because I don't even know what you're talking about.
All right, fair enough. Just for yourself, look that up.
Hey. The thing is, that's the kind of thing.
Because it's a moment.
I got to find some lotion. Like, let me have me.
Easy. That is not why I brought it up. I'm just telling you, you need to look at it. Whatever happens after that, good Lord.
I'm just saying I've got ashy skin. I need to moisturize.
Well, okay, that's important. Moisturizing is very important.
I just remember I need to moisturize.
Yeah. Thank you guys for jumping in the Specs chat today. We see those super chats. Let's hear from Specs and then we'll get to them.
Shop Specs! 60 years in the Lone Star State. A one-stop shop so you're never late. Price is so low that you want to know
Which way to Specs?
Come on, let's go.
Specs, fine spirits and finer foods. World-class service, that's all about you. Shop Specs!
It's how we do. A huge selection since 62.
Shop Specs!
Low priced, amazing. Here's to you.
Shop.
Cheers to savings.
Here's the way I would phrase it. You come for the Longhorn breakdown, but please, on OB Live, stay long enough for the weird catch, unnecessary comment at the end of the show. Those are my favorites. There was one in the Monday Overreaction show today. If you missed the Brett Favre comment at the end, it was gold. It was absolute gold out of nowhere. And Anwar and me, everybody watching, we didn't know what to do with it at all. It was fantastic. All right, real quick, before we get out of here, Oscar $4.99. Arch and Wingo, being two of a lesser performing individuals, was not on my bingo card, and they challenged the way I see this team until further notice. Oscar, that's a great way to look at it. If your quarterback and your supposed number one don't get along better than that on the field, something you may have to change in your mind. Michael for 5. Buy or sell. Texas can finish the regular season undefeated if the offense scores at least 20 points. Whew. 20, Cat. I got to sell that.
Every game? Is that what he's saying?
Yeah, that's not enough. 20, just 20? That's not enough for me.
Who's scoring more than 20 against Texas?
Georgia at home can score more than 20 on Texas.
Okay, who else?
That's the one that really stands out. That's all I need because he says finish the regular season undefeated.
Well, but then we need to. Here's what you're not doing, Chad. You're not being literal enough.
Okay.
Because it didn't say Texas will finish the regular season. It said, can they?
They can. I mean, okay. All right.
They absolutely can.
Okay. It's a lower. Okay. I'll lowercase buy it, Michael. But that defense, they got to keep.
No. He asked the question wrong.
Keep showing us what they're showing us.
You answered it in the beginning of will they finish? And you're like, no, they're going to need Georgia at home. That's not going to be enough. But Texas could shut out Georgia. It doesn't matter that they likely won't. They could. Whereas we were talking about UTEP this weekend, we wouldn't say UTEP could shut out. No, we not literally could. There's better than a 1% chance.
Yeah.
So I think you can absolutely capital B buy this. I just think it's faint praise.
Yeah, Michael, I was trying to insult the offense. You were trying to compliment the defense. I'm going to let you buy. That's a buy. Because this defense is playing pretty badass right now. Finally, ATX Bates with a 5 spot. Buy or sell. If you got the same performance from Texas, but San Jose was week 1 and Ohio State was week 2, your outlook would be different.
Sell. I still think they lose the game based on the fact that Ohio State gets to also have played their first. They get to now have a game under their belt. And I think that game's still in Columbus.
Now, Catch, are you being too literal? Did Bates tell us that Ohio State would actually get to flip their 2 games?
No, but he's saying if you get the same, I don't think what Texas did this weekend even beats Ohio State last week.
Yeah, okay. I don't know. I'm not sure. Bates, that's a tough one because my initial gut is buy because my first thought is that the performance from Arch would have been good enough to beat.
Ironically, the defense wasn't as good against San Jose State as it was against Ohio State, even though it committed and turned them over.
Right.
But they did not suffocate San Jose State the way they suffocated Ohio State. So, if you're going to take the week 1 performance, you got to take the whole week 1 performance.
Yeah. No,
they might have got their ass busted up a little bit more by that Ohio State offense if they hadn't quite been on it like they were in week 1.
Yeah, I'm gonna go whole performance, Bates. I'm gonna buy it because if I get touchdown, turnover, touchdown, turnover, touchdown, turnover, touchdown in Columbus, they win that game. So they'd be 2-0, and the perspective would be different. There you go. I did what you just said. You said the whole performance, so I get that whole performance, right? Yeah, baby, whole performance. I get 28-0. Come on.
I give up. I cannot say you're wrong.
That's exactly what Bates meant, I'm sure. By the way, Bates, in the revamped Hall of Helmets, look carefully. Your boy's there. Your bait is still there. Your fishing lure. Appreciate you. All right. Thank y'all for jumping in today. Thank you for liking, subscribing, and getting your notifications. We will not break rule number 1. Thank you for watching on a Monday. Modcast comes tomorrow. This is Orange Bloods Live.